We're emptying barrels today, assembling the blend essentially. So we've got 8 barrels of Passito here. I've tasted all the barrels and made sure there's no barrel variation. They all taste good, and started to rack them out. So you can get racking ones that go in, the more of a rigid one that goes in, and you can even push it with nitrogen out of the barrel. I'm using a pump that goes into the winery and to a tank. So we'll be assembling it today, getting all the barrels into a tank, and then the all-important sanitation of barrels will be next. Getting the lees out of the barrel. To clean them initially before sanitizing, we have a barrel wand here, or a barrel washer rather. See, it rotates when the water goes through, and it's hooked up to just normal water pressure. And this goes in the bottom of the barrel, down through the bump. So they're all upside down right now. Let's do the. You want to rinse them until they're clean. So the water essentially is clear. So this barrel is just about clear. It's still coming out a little bit red. Okay, today we're K250 filtering. That's the grade of the filter pad. You can see the gauges. So it's going through quite well. It's about halfway. So 0.6 bar, and like I said in my video, you don't want to get much more than my filtration video previously. You don't want to get much more than 1.5 bar differential across the pad. So they're starting to plug up. This is what the clarity looks like coming in. So you can see it's fairly cloudy, and this is what it looks like coming out. Very, very, very clear. Yes, you can unfilter, do an unfiltered red, but there's very important things to remember. It has to be a nutrient desert, not dessert, desert. So no nutrients whatsoever, and that means no sugars or below a comfortable level. There's always unfermentables, and then also no malic acid. That's also a food. Having said that, there still are organisms that really don't need much food, like Brettanomyces, which is a spoilage yeast organism that we'll be looking at with our fault tastings next week, and you have to accept some sediment and cloudy. So it depends. I've done unfiltered for many years in the Okanagan, mainly because the winery owner wanted to do that. It was a bit of a trend in the 1990s, but now I like the risk aversion of filtering. I don't feel like it's detracting from the quality at all. Okay. So next phase will be bottling. Pressure decay testing of our membrane. So nitrogen here, and I'm going to turn that on. So it's a nice full one. I just brought it over here to do this test. So 2000 psi, and I'm going to in the membrane. So just to show you the downstream, the upstream valve is closed, downstream is open, so the flow is in here when we start doing wine, and it's outside in filtration, so it's that fills on the outside of the housing. You see it's kind of offset where it goes in, and then it goes through the membrane and then out through the middle through here. So this is upstream, it's off, and now I'm going to pressurize it to 1.3 bar, and so this is in bar, and then hold it there for 10 minutes. See the gauge going up? So I'm using the regulator to get that up to 1.3. There we are. So now I will close this, so it's a closed unit. Close the valve on the, on the nitrogen bottle, because we don't want yeah. So now, because we don't want the pressure of the bottle of the nitrogen causing anything, causing any wrong testing. So now you see it's 1.3. It's closed here, closed on the bottom, but open at right here. So if there was a break in the seal of the membrane on the bottom, or any holes in the membrane, the pressure would be escaping through this line, and the gauge would be going down. So if it holds there for 10 minutes, it can actually go down to about 0.9, and it's still okay. And once again, I think I said this in another video, don't use, or in class, don't use CO2 to do this. Only use nitrogen. CO2 tends to dissolve into the pores of the membrane and then come through the water and comes out the other side. We're filtering in line, so you see the pad filter there, that's EK. It's always a good idea to pre-filter a red before membranes in line rather than the day before, because the red components tend to come back together after filtration, and then it could blind the membranes. So we've got the filter pad behind me and the membrane in line coming from a tank by that door back there, and then coming out to here. So the line goes in there for the wine. This is a gravity filler similar to what we have at the college, and I'm just going to do a bottle for you. So a lot of practice with these. The bottle comes off. You kind of have to take it off, and then there's a spring onto the corker, and then corked. And we do a little bit of an indent on the cork for wax.